Day 327 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, y'all, we're back again another day, another LeetCode problem where we're doing daily LeetCode problems. And today we have question number 1941. Check if all characters have equal number of occurrences. The difficulty level is easy, so you already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as well. But before we get started, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you need any new Apple AirPods, go in and check out that link in the description so you can get you some. Now let's see what the question says. Given a string S, return true if S is a good string or false otherwise. A string S is good if all of the characters that appear have the same number of occurrences, i.e. the same frequency. So that sounds simple enough, y'all, but let's go ahead and take a look at these examples so we can make sure that we are doing this problem correctly. So in example 1, we have the input S equals a string ABACBC. The output is true. Explanation says the characters that appear in S are A, B, and C. All characters occur 2 times in S. So as we can see in the string S, all of the characters appear twice. We have an A right here and an A right here. We have a B right here and we have a B right here, and we have a C right here and we have a C right here. So since there are 2 occurrences of each letter in this string, we have 2 A's, we have 2 B's, and we have 2 C's. The output is true because all of the characters in this string appear the same amount of times, which in this case happens to be 2. Every character in this string appears 2 times, which makes it a good string because every character appears the same amount of times. So we return our output as true. So let's go ahead and take a look at example 2 where it's not a good string and the characters do not appear the same amount of times, and we have to return false. So in example 2, S equals a string AAA and BB. The output is false. Explanation says the characters that appear in S are A and B. A occurs 3 times while B only occurs 2 times, which is not the same number of times. So since A appears 3 times and B appears 2 times, that means they do not have the same number of occurrences, or that means they do not appear the same amount of times, so we return false. We only return true if every character in this string appears the same amount of times, similar to how it did in example 1, where every character appeared twice. In this case, we have 1 character that appears 3 times, and we have 1 character that appears twice, so the output is false because 3 does not equal 2. So now that we understand the question, y'all, let's get into the fun part, the actual solution, y'all. And guess what? I got 2 solutions for y'all today, so make sure y'all stick around after the first solution so y'all can get the second solution as well. They're both easy to understand. And so to solve this problem, we are going to be using a dictionary which will keep track of the characters in the string and the amount of times that those characters occur. So let's get started. And the first thing we need to do is we need to create that dictionary to store the character frequencies. So in order to do that, we could just come right here. We could declare a variable by saying var. We could call it dictionary. So we say var dictionary. Then we'll set colon. It's going to be a dictionary. So we'll open up the square brackets. We're going to say string and then dot element. So the key is going to be the string dot element, and then the value is going to be an integer. So we'll say string dot element colon int. Then we're going to initialize it with a blank dictionary, just like that. Boom. Now we're going to create a set to store the unique frequency values. Because remember, a set doesn't hold duplicates, it only holds unique values. So in order to do that, we're going to declare a variable, call that unique. We can say colon, and that's going to be a set. We'll say set less than int greater than, and initialize that with, we'll say equals with just a blank array, just like this. Now we need to iterate through each character in the string. So in order to do that, we could say for character in S. I'm going to open up the bracket, and we need to increment the count for each character in the array. So every time we see this character, we need to increment the count. So we can say dictionary Then we can open up the square brackets and say character. Then we'll say comma, default, colon, 0. So the default value for all of the characters is just going to start at 0. And then each time we see the character, we're going to say plus equals 1. So that means we're going to add 1 each time we see the character to keep count of the characters. Now we need to iterate through the frequency values in the dictionary. So in order to do that, we'll come outside of this for loop. We'll start another for loop and we'll say for value in dictionary dot values. Oh, excuse me, that should be values. Then we'll open up the brackets and we're going to say we need to insert each frequency into the set. So we'll say unique dot insert, open up the parentheses value. Boom, just like that. And if there's only one unique frequency value, then we can return true. Otherwise, return false. That means the characters do not have equal occurrences. So remember that a set only stores unique values, right? So if all of the values are the same, then there should only be one number or one value in the set, because sets don't contain duplicates. Sets are going to get rid of the duplicates. So if there's only one value in there, that means that there is that means that the string is good and we could return true. So in order to do that, we just come right here and say return unique dot count equals 1. Remember, this returns a Boolean. So if there's only one value, if the count is equal to 1, it's going to return true. If the count is not equal to 1, then it will return false. So let's go ahead and give this a run. Make sure it runs properly, y'all. Let's see. Oh, it's accepted. So let's go ahead and submit it. Make sure it stays accepted after we submit it. All right, y'all. 3 milliseconds beats 50.72% of users with Swift. We'll get those numbers up as we continue down our LeetCode journey. And don't forget, I have another solution for y'all. So let's see what that solution's time complexity is like as well. So let's go ahead and get rid of this code. And guess what, y'all? Guess what? We got a one-liner. That's right, y'all. We could answer this question in one line of code. That's why I wanted to make sure I give y'all 2 solutions, just so we could get this one-liner in there as well. So for the one-liner, we just we can say set. We're going to open up the brackets. We're going to say dictionary. Then we're going to open up the parentheses. We're going to say s.map. Then we're going to open up the brackets. We're going to open up the parentheses again. We're going to say $0, comma 1. Then we are going to come outside of those parentheses, brackets, and in parentheses. So we're going to come right here, and we are going to open up some more brackets. We're going to say $0 plus $1. Then we're going to come outside of those brackets and we are going to say dot values. Then we're going to come outside of these parentheses and we're going to say dot count equals 1. So what this is going to do, right? First, this is going to convert this right here is going to, or with these parentheses, this right here is going to convert the string into an array of tuples, and each character maps to 1 to start, right? Then we're going to come this dictionary, we're going to take those tuples, and we're going to create a dictionary, right? And where each key is a character and the value is the sum of occurrences. So this is going to group together identical characters. This is and count their occurrences. Then we're going to need to extract only the frequency values and how many times each character appears, and we're going to store them in a set right here. And then if there's only one unique frequency similar to the last solution, then it'll return true. Otherwise, it'll return false. So let's go ahead and give this a run. Make sure it runs correctly, y'all. It's accepted, so let's go ahead and submit it. See what this time complexity is like. See if it beats this last one. Let's see. Ooh, and it did beat it. 1 milliseconds beats 73.91% of users with Swift, y'all. Once again, we're going to work on those numbers. We'll get those numbers up as we continue down our LeetCode journey. But right now, we just want to be able to solve the solution that is presented to us. And I feel like, solve the problem that is presented to us. And I feel like these are two good solutions for that. Easy to understand and easy to retain the knowledge so that we can use that knowledge on future LeetCode problems. So with that being said, y'all, I hope y'all learned something today, and I hope to see y'all here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.